mapped out. 1 second, y'all.
Yeah. So once you have your goals mapped out, it becomes easier now to know if you're on the right track or not. It's like a road map. If you know you're driving down the street, you got to pay yourself seminary, and you never see seminary, then automatically you're going to know you're off track. Something's wrong, right? That tells you to go back and look, and that's what this was all about, mapping out the goals. We discussed and mapped out what is your vision. We discussed and mapped out what is your purpose. We discussed and mapped out what skills are required to accomplish your vision or your purpose. We discussed and mapped out what behaviors are required to accomplish your vision or your purpose. We discussed and mapped out what resources are required to accomplish your vision or your purpose. And we also went into creating a goal statement, and then we did the benchmarks for the next 30 days for 6 months in 30-day intervals. So that you can go back and you can see month after month what are you doing, you see. Now, it's getting to a point where there's heightened accountability. I can't say this enough, right? So in programs like this, what's happening is people want to know how the money's being spent. Does that make sense? Right? So it's a heightened accountability. So now they need to be able to show numbers or growth, in other words. When you have your folder, you got your stuff mapped out, you can show you got your housing tracker and everything done, and you can show that, then who can challenge you now? Does that make sense? Who can say that you're not doing something? I learned a long time ago these words, and never forget this as long as you live. Documentation beat conversation. Documentation beat conversation. If you're going into court, what do you need? You need your paperwork. If somebody's calling you in and challenge you on something and say you didn't do it, what do you need? Your paperwork. Your paperwork. When you have your paperwork, and it doesn't necessarily got to be something all beautiful. It can be on a piece of paper where you mapped out the dates and times, and this is what you did. The mere fact that you mapped it out gives your whole conversation validity, right? It makes it valid. It makes it the truth. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So we talked about effective communication, and then we talked about we did a communication assessment. Were you guys there when we talked about the terror barrier?
Stop crazy with you.
I know you wasn't here. Okay. So we talked about the terror barrier. What the terror barrier is have you ever wanted to do something new that you knew in your life, and the moment you stepped into it, you felt fear, anxiety, worry, doubt? I mean, it's like all these forces coming up against you. What that is called is the terror barrier. See, the thing about it is that people typically fear what? The unknown. In order to destroy fear, you must make the unknown known. You see, and this is what it does. It says, why do people feel doubt, worry, and fear when you attempt to do something new? That's the question. Because we talked about X-type mental programming. X-type mental programming is a person living in bondage, a prison of their own making. Mental conditioning, or X, which means the unknown factor, is a person experiencing what he or she is conditioned to experience. These streets, the lifestyle, the life, all this other stuff, they're mentally conditioned to experience it, to see it that way. If all I see is doom and gloom, then somebody can come in here right now with the best opportunity in the world. I'm not going to see it that way.
But why is it that, like, when you doing bad or doing stuff that you know you ain't supposed to, like when we was out there in that lifestyle, we didn't have that fear. We didn't have that. I'm going to say we didn't. I didn't. But the minute I got ready to turn myself around and start doing the right thing and get on the right track is when that fear and all of that.
Now I'm going to break it down to you right now. Wonderful, wonderful question. Alright, but before we get there, you got to understand the X and the Y type programming. You got to understand where the fear comes from. A Y-type mental programming is a person that has read a book or sat in a workshop like this explaining that they can think and create whatever they desire, probably for the first time in their life. So now they're exposed to new information, right? Mind expanding information. This creates...
Nowhere can go.
You own it out. This creates a Y-type idea, which represents the ability to have more money, luxuries, and independence. Here's where the fear comes from. Okay, it says, we learn that it says, paraphrase a little bit to get us through. Okay, so this is where things typically go crazy. When a person has taken a Y-type idea and internalized it or got emotionally involved. So basically, right, we was in the light, we was doing our thing. We realized somewhere along the line, this just isn't it. tired of feeling this way. I don't know about you, but it was fun while I was doing it, but the next day, it was the worst feeling ever. It was the worst feeling ever. And it was like, man, here you go again, messed up again, or I'm in jail again, or all this other stuff is going on again, right? So basically, I'm taking that white type idea, that idea that I can make more money, luxuries, and independence, and now I've internalized it, or I got emotionally involved. Now I'm liking what I'm seeing. I put a different image in my mind, right? It says instant and automatically the person creates doubt, worry, and fear and anxiety because the person is trying to mix the Y and X type ideas. The X and Y thought processes are not compatible. The person's central nervous system is affected and it scares the living daylights out of them. The person has hit the terror barrier and they don't know what to do. It says, so the majority, here back to what you said, so the majority of the time the person decides to go back to what they know best, which is bondage.
If you think positive, you get positive results.
If you consistently think positive, I would say. You see what I'm saying? Because that's oftentimes we thought positive, right? And then what happens for a lot of people is life happens. So we're thinking positive, we want to get positive, but we've surrounded ourselves around a bunch of negative people.
That's right, it's also a couple of people too.
Exactly. And here these negative jokers come, and next thing you know, they got us all thrown off, and we right back doing the same old stuff all over again. Or when they come and we want to think, have you ever been in a situation where you was looking to stay positive, and then those people come and all of a sudden you got pissed off and angry and mad because here they come? Well, let me speak from my own experience. This is me. I hate being in negative environments. I hate it with a passion. I hate it. It makes my skin crawl. I feel like I start to become angry when I'm in those environments. Do you feel that way? You start feeling some kind of way? You know when you're there, and the only thought I had is get out of here.
You can feel it.
Yes, it's that energy. You see what I'm saying? It's the energy. You can go into a room full of negative people and they don't have to say a word. You feel it from the moment you hit the door.
You know somebody.
Exactly. You know when people feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You can tell from the moment you hit the door. Because it's the energy that they give off. So going back to your question, what happens is they're trying to mix these two thought processes. It's going to break it down some more right here. So basically what's happening is that the person hit the terror barrier and don't know what to do. So the majority of people, the majority of the times the person decides to go back to what they know best, which is bondage. Instantly, the fear, worry, and doubt and anxiety goes away because the person is programmed to function in dysfunction, which is familiar territory. The real reason you don't feel no fear or whatever, it's jacked up, but you know how to operate in that. You get me? We know how to move in that. I said earlier, you will become very good at whatever you continue to do. There was a time you didn't know how to move in that environment. There's a time when that environment kind of scared you, made you a little worried. You looking around, make sure everybody was copacetic and cool. It got to a point you weren't even worried about who came in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that's typically how it happens. So the first step for crashing through the terror barrier, you must begin to do all, get this right here, you must begin to do all that you can do from where you are. This is what I was saying earlier. I said I didn't want to mess it up. From where you are. And you must do all you can do from where you are. You can only advance, get this right here, you can advance only through being larger than your present place. You only here, you got to grow bigger than Matilda, please. That's what it is. Your thought process got to leave before your body leaves because the body follows the mind. Every single time. If I hold my arm out, my arm went up because my mind said, oh, go up.
Go up. Say for real.
For real. Go up. You get what I'm saying? So if I want to go up, the first thing that got to go up is my mind. And when my mind goes up, my body will follow. Remember that thing? It says, what would it say? Free your mind and your brain will follow. Every single time, you have to go bigger than Matilda Cleveland. It says you must go from where you are. It says sit down and describe what it is that you can do despite of the fear that accompanied the Y-type idea that you constantly envision. So despite of the fear, what it's saying, despite of what you feel, map it out. Despite of what you think, map it out. Despite of what you think, and always remember, you're going to maintain on whatever level you believe you're supposed to be on. If a person believes they're supposed to be in temporary housing, I guarantee, and I'll put $1 million if I had it right now, I'll drop $1 million. Then we can come back 10 years from now, and they still gonna be in some type of temporary housing situation, if not homeless.
Ooh, don't say that.
They are. Because you can only be what you believe. Your belief and your current situation has always been one and the same. Every woman that was in a jacked up relationship believed that that's the relationship she was supposed to be in. And the only time it changed is when what changed?
When I got out.
Her belief changed. Okay, why did you get out?
Because my mind finally woke up.
Your mind woke up. Your belief changed. You said to yourself what?
This ain't right.
This ain't This ain't it.
This ain't it.
And what happened? When your mind changed, your body what? Your body followed. Every single time. That's the reason why I said I would bet on it, because that is just what it is. Does that make sense? Oh, you can.
I'm moving out.
Yeah,
look at all these rappers.
Alright, when you come through here, you're gonna be on camera.
Oh.
Caught you with that head scarf and everything on your head. You might as well come on through the scene. It's okay. Yeah, it's a wrap now. Alright, so in week 7, for the candy. So in week 7, we talked about building a social support system. So this is right within itself. So we talked about, what do you need from a support system? That's the first thing. What do you need, right? We went into talking about identifying what people within your family, your friends, and your acquaintances that can help you and those to avoid. One of the things that we're looking at right now is that housing is very expensive in the area. It is expensive. It is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about that. However, one of the things that we're sharing a lot of and talking a lot about, is the fact that what other options do you have? And we got to start looking at options. You know what I'm saying? The idea is to be able to move out of here, get into your own place, doing your own thing. But for most people, they haven't grown to that developmental level yet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So the option may be identifying somebody within your social support system that support you and doing a shared housing situation. That may be the solution for you.
Are you saying is it
Who
people
done talked to
like
you
the
before you just said this? You
I said this before.
I ain't never heard it.
I said this a couple weeks ago. Was you in here?
I must not have been here.
I was gonna say
Remember? No. I'm going to break it down to you right now. Remember when I said I'm checking in with you guys? I said, how's the housing situation going? And you guys talked about how you put in all those applications. You talked about how I'm this on the list. Regina was talking about how she was
Yeah, I remember that, but
on the list.
so how you get to
And then
how
you said-
find out about shared housing?
Okay, and then you said these words. This is what I'm about to say. You said that, I'm looking to get out. I said, what you may need to do is a situation when you're living with somebody. You said that would be my last option. I think that was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
We had this conversation. You said that would be my last option. You said before I do that, I would rather get a studio first, and me and my kids going to a studio.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just a lot of that shared housing stuff
What
coming up lately. So that's all I'm like,
Oh, got it.
who you done cahoots with?
Now. We already had this conversation before. I'm just saying options. Whatever the options. If the options is a studio, then the options is a studio. Whatever the options are. All I'm saying is I'm not telling you what to do. All I'm saying is, like I said earlier, map out all your options and think it through.
Shared housing is, say for instance, they find a 4-bedroom house. And me and you decide, you ask me a question, me and you decide to share the house. So that means you have 2 rooms to you and your family. So I have 2 rooms to me and my family, but we share the kitchen, or we share the dining room and the living room.
Or it could be with a relative. It could be with a sister. It could be with a brother.
But you got your own room.
Exactly. It could be.
Look, they help you do that?
Yeah, they do.
And it could also be with a relative. It could be with a sister. It could be with a brother. All I'm saying is look at all of the
Look at all the options.
Exactly.
And whoever they're going to pair you with. You never know who it is that they're going to.
Alright, so in entrepreneurial mind, these are the things that we're going to discuss. Business formation, outlining a basic business plan, protecting your idea, business development assistance agencies. We're going to talk about how to fund your business, credit education. That's another thing, credit education. Credit has a lot to do with being able to get housing as well.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So let me ask you guys this question, because we're going to go into the laws. We're going to break down a few of the laws of credit education.
Swear to God, man.
I can come back and show you guys how to write your letters. I can show you how to send them off, and the things that you can start to do right now to dispute negative items on your
Let's do
credit. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, I can do that, because at the end of the day, you can get the job, you get what I'm saying, you can make the money, but if they're gonna pull your credit report, you see where I'm coming from?
You can't come back and do it like a class? Can you come back and do one-on-ones with people?
Absolutely. Another thing too is this right here. Always remember, I'm nothing but a phone call away. I got software right now. I can send you an email. I don't know if they have webcams. You can do it from your cell phone. I can actually send you an email. We can see one another. I can show you what's on my screen. I can show you everything you need to see.
Now you record this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Give me your email.
okay.
Go ahead.
It's Devon 1031.
No. Just write it down for me.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna send you all the videos.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got all these weeks. Everything I'm going over right now, I have videos that actually map these weeks out, so you'll be able to go through it again. But the credit education is so important. I was thinking about that when we was having a brainstorming session a while ago. Because you can have the income, you can have everything set up, but if they're going to pull your credit report, then that can become another barrier. Does that make sense? Go ahead, sweetie.
I'm just gonna share a story. You know these houses over here, what's they called? The projects right before the Albert Group. Before I came here, I went and applied at the Albert Group, and just the overlook, it was like, okay, well, you have the money, you know. Like a good person, your background as far as the letter from my old owner, everything was good. So I'm talking with the lady at the office, and she's like, girl, don't worry, you'll be in here. And give them a week, and we'll be calling you, telling you to come get your keys.
It's all good, huh?
That weekend, she called me. I'm picking up going to get my key. I go up there, she's like, well, we got your credit report back. That stopped everything. Like, I didn't even know like credit really would be something with housing. I'm thinking about housing.
Absolutely.
You just get in because you ain't paying shit anyway.
Absolutely.
Shit, they stopped me right in my tracks and sent me on by my way with a credit report.
I got all the letters
They gave me
right
a whole
now
report.
in electronic format. All you got to do is put your name on it, sign the bottom, and I'll tell you how to go to the place and send it off. You can actually get your credit report for free. It's called Free Annual Credit Report. Every year you can get one free credit report. You pull that credit report. Once you guys have all your credit reports, we're going to come in here to this class. We can do it individually, and we're going to break down what steps to actually take to start hitting those negative items. Because the great thing about it is, you know how Credit Karma they have all the electronic disputes? Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you send an electronic dispute, then they're not required to send your letter back. They're not required to do any type of work. When you send a letter, they have the burden of proof of proving that you owe them that money. It's like the court of law, right? Supposedly like the court of law. They got to prove you owe them. They got to show a certificate. They got to show a contract. They got to show what you signed. That is the law. You see? But when you do the electronic disputes, they'll get back to you in a couple of days. Oh, no, you did it.
Right.
It was you.
Right.
Of course it was you. Because you know why? Because Equifax, first and foremost, you guys understand that Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are all publicly traded companies, privately owned companies? Yeah. The government has given your private information to a private company. They're not even government entities. And you know how they get paid? By keeping that negative item on your credit.
So
that's how they get paid.
That we don't pay them for keeping it on.
Exactly. That's
so
how
they're not helping us at all.
So it's not in their best interest to take it off your credit.
Right.
If you don't understand what the law is.
Keep us there.
Exactly.
Keep our executive.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
But
So
I think we should. Oh, sorry.
No, but
I think we should do it as a meeting because it might be something some women ask that we didn't know to ask, and we need to know. So I think if we do it in a group set, it'll be this is my opinion. If we do it in a group set, then it'll be better than individual. Because I wouldn't know what to ask, I what to say.
What you say, go to what and pull it up?
it's called free. I'm gonna show it to you in a few seconds. You're gonna get a copy of all this. You're gonna know exactly where to go. You're gonna know the law. You're gonna know everything.
So
and
we're
then
gonna
also,
make a vote, right? We're gonna make a vote if we're gonna do it in class.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So before we leave here, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna also talk about Kennedy Park. Getting our thing together for Kennedy Park. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a CD today. It's called the FDIC Money Smart CD. In this CD, it breaks down budgets, it breaks down credit, it breaks down everything. So you guys are gonna get a free CD today for that, helping you with your budgeting and your money.